Was that joke?
Sorry, did you hear that just now?
Yeah.
Tune out,
Sorry.
disengage.
Yeah.
So, like as mentioned previously, today's episode will be discussing our experiences of when you felt just at least interacting with someone else. Oh my God, there is a very clear generation gap. So first, context-wise, when did you feel the generation gap in, let's say, different styles of communication? So for instance, like how you express needs, how you keep in touch with your friends, or like how you solve conflict.
I think it's changed quite significantly, mainly because I think it starts with the channel, the way we communicate. Before it's obviously in person and voice, probably the biggest. Now it's text, visual. And so I think that's kind of forced differences in obviously the timing, so it's not as instantaneous. And then also a bunch of new expressive lingo and emojis and I think those are quite different. I think that in essence it has changed a bit because you can be less direct now. There are ways for you to hide the true meaning, right, Jose?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think probably because of technology.
I mean, for us, I think we have kind of emerged or changed or transitioned as well between the old and the new. Whereas I think for Joe,
And she's also a millennial.
merging right at the beginning of her journey. I mean, did you use? Was it always internet?
It wasn't. For the year that I was born, I experienced more in-person communications and also obviously the digital era. So so texting digital communication, but I'm also comfortable with face-to-face communication as well.
Were you in the era where you had to limit your number of texts because you're actually sending an SMS?
I think so. Yeah.
Because it's limit word limits, right? Do you remember
that?
Yeah. The only trick is it costs it actually costs money to send messages.
I don't remember.
You just keep sending. It doesn't matter to you. It's just
I was too busy playing Snake.
No, but definitely used to have more phone calls back then. Or
the actual
or
phone.
BB games.
Oh, the beeper.
Oh, black.
Did you guys have the beeper?
Oh, pager.
Pager.
Yeah, pager. I was thinking how to say that in English.
BB gay? Oh,
You actually had to call the guys at the call toy.
Yeah, very indirect too. But then that before the whole smartphone or
That pager thing is awkward, man, because you're telling a stranger what you want to say to someone, which could be quite personal, right? It's I love you. And I love you. I love you, mom.
Yeah, that's why that's why probably back then people would say those kind of stuff in person.
Oh really? I only know I was a kid then, so.
No, we were in high school.
No, pager was and I was in.
You have it on your belt.
kindergarten. Yeah.
My mom and dad used a pager.
I'm sure, yeah.
Do you still have one? As in, would you find one in your house?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah.
What about AOL? Did you used to have AOL and the dial-in internet? The one that makes a lot of
I
sound.
haven't used it, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I get now. I understand where you are.
I think you right. You started with no.
So I was
MSN.
using MSN.
Oh, MSN.
Oh, same.
But I was
Yeah.
some of my friends use ICQ as well. So like I was just in between ICQ and MSN.
MSN was after ICQ, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of
Same time, like ICQ and MSN.
Yeah,
and there were a little
Yeah. I used
okay.
both for some time.
transition.
Yeah.
But I didn't use ICQ.
Did you have AOL?
No, I didn't.
Did you have AOL?
I didn't.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I just MSN was the starting
Just
point.
Okay.
We can see the timeline now.
Yeah.
Our age. I think I just didn't even instant message. It was like either email or like.
Letter. So you are
Yeah, I write letters too. But that's not like my main. It's like only for special occasions. It's like dear mom. This
I'll be
week.
back at 11 tonight.
And then her mom says okay.
She sure it's okay after I arrive.
I used to write letters too when I moved to Vancouver, and I tried to keep in touch with my friends in Hong Kong. That's the period of time when I wrote letters. But
Did you stick like stickers and put photos of yourself in?
for myself.
Yeah. Okay, because
Remember me. Remember me.
No, unfortunately, I didn't do that.
No. Does that sound weird if you put photos and you send them your own photos? Because that's what we do on Instagram now, right?
It's like sending your friends your own selfies without any context. Like,
Selfie wasn't even a thing back then.
We do that on Instagram.
well, it's like the OG selfie.
No, but it's fine.
It's like selfie without the selfie option.
Yeah, it's something without the front camera, so you would have a
Yeah,
screen
yeah.
camera.
Yeah. Well, we back in the days we had film, so it was like you had to actually print.
I would imagine if you send a photo to your friend through like actual mails, it would be like the photo you take every year from school.
Oh, so year photos.
Year
Wow.
photos, yeah. But that's
Okay.
funny.
Interesting.
It's quite weird if you
Look
just
very
attach the
proper.
photo without context, like here's me now.
That's what we do on Instagram now, though, right? We just put a photo of ourselves.
You don't like target a specific person to like
Yeah.
send it to. It's just there.
It's the what's that green thing on Instagram? The secret
Close
close friends list.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like that. See, when
Yeah.
you think about it like that.
But you wouldn't just like slide into a friend's DMs and just like attach yourself.
Okay, then what about if you
Just
send?
like, hi.
What about if you send a lot of letters and a lot of photos to a lot of people? Is that the same? That's what you're doing a lot.
No, but it's like when you directly send someone a message, they get a notification like,
Right.
oh, like a message from so and so. But then if you post stuff like regardless of like, you know, whether it's like close friends or just public, then like other people who follow you have the option to not look at it, right?
Okay, fair enough.
They don't get a notification unless they chose to.
Okay, fair enough. Good point. I don't do either. So I never share my own. I don't even have my own photo on any of my IG posts.
Why are you trying to justify?
No, I'm
your
just-
actions?
I'm just saying, like, in case people think I send my own photos to people through letterbox.
The only thing I can say about that is you need to love yourself more. You are important.
I do. I just don't need to show it. I don't need to show other people.
I see it now, like, you get a gist of like the whole generation gap, like,
Yeah.
the whole reason for this generation.
Like the selfie itself means different things to different generations.
What does a selfie mean to you?
Well,
She's the millennials too. I think that
what does a selfie mean to you? Wow.
philosophical.
What does a selfie mean to you? Do you take selfies?
Very rarely.
I think it's also different among
Yeah.
genders.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, I rarely do a selfie. I usually do it when I thought there's something on my face. I just want to check it, or like.
Selfie is kind of a mirror to you.
Functional. It's functional.
But again, I'm a very functional-oriented person, so.
Well, I mean, on a more serious note, how about like solving conflicts? Like for instance, maybe between like, you know, between you and your parents or just any other generation gap, maybe at work with someone significantly older or younger, do you feel like sometimes you realize that you guys have different ways of trying to solve a problem?
I think there's a lot of differences. I mean, the one that stands out the most is probably the pace.
Yeah.
I mean, just because of, as you said, the biggest changes in technology. So, I mean, the way we go about finding comparisons, resources is much easier now than before. You know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to solve something, maybe back in the days, you ask someone close to you. So then, in a way, it kind of encourages you to think, because if you're close together, it's not like they're not open-minded, it's just that is their world. Right? Whereas now we just go on the phone and check social media or check multiple news sources.
Like
back in the days,
FAQs.
and now you know what you're reading, you know like what's behind it a little bit more, like the newspaper has an agenda. Like back in the days, it's not always that clear cut. You read the paper that was just lying in your house. You don't really think about what what
Like
agendas they have
cross-referencing.
and stuff like that. So I think definitely like the resources and the pace is much quicker now. So that's why I think one of the common through families and stuff is like the second that's one of those kind of comments where for us it's maybe that's just the way it is, right?
But do you think the time taken to resolve a conflict is shorter?
Not necessarily.
Even though there's a bigger pool of resources.
There's new problems.
That's true.
There's like other problems.
Yeah.
Like it becomes more complicated. Like the problems tend to become more complicated nowadays. And also like just like on that note also, I realized that I think maybe younger generations prefer to, like if they want to ask like maybe customer service like for help, they prefer to do it on, if available, like live chat or email rather than a phone call, whereas like maybe like older generations, they tend to like as you mentioned before, just like ask in person if available or like do a phone call.
I don't know if I agree on that though. Like for me, if I wanna ask like a company on something or whatever, I steer away from live chats. I want to actually talk to a person. Maybe I'm a millennial with like an old heart, an old soul.
有啲嘢你通常呢啲位你都會有啲歌詞啊 also
This time. No.
Yeah, talking to a person because you get a direct answer. As opposed to like live chats. I mean, like sometimes your problem most problems you can find on FAQ, but if I want to actually ask something,
like a very specific,
like a very specific situation, so I would like to actually like explain my situation and get a direct answer. So I would prefer phone call or talk to like a representative person. I think it depends on the situation because sometimes that's why maybe I'm in between generations, but I don't know, like it depends on the situation because if I want to get an answer from a business, most of the time I want a direct, like a quick response, or I want to explain to them a specific situation. But I also get sometimes like if I catch up with friends, if they give me an unexpected phone call, I'll be like, I would panic for a bit. Oh my god, like I wasn't expecting to go on like phone call basis or like FaceTime or doing I get like panic a bit. It's like, I'm sorry, did you call? I just like wait till
you deliberately missed the call.
Just like calling her now.
The friends were watching.
Okay, so like another context, I guess a lot of people tend to feel the generation gap is in work ethic. Do you feel that with maybe like you and your parents when you discuss work?
maybe it's just an overgeneralization, but I feel like older generation tend to do things step by step, more by the books. But younger generation tend to find the quickest ways to achieve something. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. It's just like, just my observation.
Especially like somewhere like Hong Kong, people want to get the most by doing the least. That's supposed to be like smart. But, I think it probably has been taken with more a little bit. Whereas I think in older generations, that wasn't that concept about what you call it, like efficiency or smartness wasn't really there. Like career paths, I think you mentioned. Things like that. So obviously back in the days there just wasn't that much movement in the workforce. Like
choice.
You stay at the job or at least you stay in the industry for pretty much your whole life. Probably the same workplace as well. So whereas now there's just more options and it's almost like the smart thing to do is to move around, try and bounce a bigger paycheck. You have all these techniques. I think the best balance is probably somewhere in between, to be honest, but definitely there is a difference. For me, that type of difference is most rather than like who works harder or less hard, because that I think depends on the individual.
I do think there is a big difference between at least me and my parents' views on like career and work. They value stability more, while I think our generation, like younger generations, would less like it is kind of a luxury for people who are more comfortable too. But I feel like in general, our generation would value work-life balance, or like whether you're actually passionate, whether you actually like in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I feel like in our parents' generations, they're more focused on like the base levels, like whether you're able to secure like enough money or
like a career progression.
Like a stable career progression. But I think it's also fortunate for us that we can actually like look at something more than just like the money and stability, but like whether we actually enjoy the work, whether it's aligned with our passions and whether it's something that we really enjoy doing.
So how do you guys think about this one? Because generally the older generation would say you guys don't have the considerations that they had. Because they were maybe first generation fighting for survival, and nowadays the kids they're just sort of spoiled. What do you guys think of that narrative?
Like the challenges that we face are just like very different. Like, and I think the challenges of the older generations were more explicit, whereas like more physical, whereas more tangible. Whereas now it's all like mental, intellectual
experience.
And sometimes, like to add to your point, so like I feel like because we aren't facing the same problems that are more tangible in the older generation, doesn't mean that we are not stressed as well. Because I feel like a lot of times older generations would feel like would label us as really entitled or like really fortunate already, but you're still complaining, or like they're like, why are you stressed? Like you literally have like you have food to eat, you have like you're born into like
I use the benchmark to judge it's a different environment.
But like we face more intense competition, I feel like. Like there is an inflation of education, like degrees and also like titles, and like in an older generation, in our parents' generation, it might be like rare for people to get a bachelor's degree, but now everyone has a bachelor's. Like most people have a bachelor's degree, and it's like kind of a minimum for you to get a job. Or maybe like in Generation Alpha or whatever, they would have to have a master's degree or a doctor's degree in order to secure a job. Or so definitely there is more stress here, and also like apart from like more tangible stuff, it's the competition between or the stress between peers. Like you have to like everyone's so visible on social media as well, like always like posting about
like the
on
pressure.
LinkedIn about like you know.
Why did you consider that?
Like people are posting their
Yeah.
achievements on LinkedIn,
Yeah,
like saying,
yeah.
"Oh, I got a new job," or "I got a raise," or like you're so everyone knows about everyone's achievements and jobs and promotions, and you feel more stressed to compete with other people. So I think this is also like partly where like it's tougher for our generation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the principle is the same. You want to feel accomplished in your life and get a sense of achievement, but that the degree of accomplishment or the type of accomplishment is different now. So I don't think anyone would say like, oh, I can put food on the table for my family and then just call it a day, right? I mean, for us, that's just not the measuring stick. But honestly, back in the day, I understand why that is, because that's already something they should be really proud of. So, so I think the hardest thing is especially for next generation, like what do you do then? Because I don't necessarily, not every parent understands what their children will be going through.
Yeah.
So they only talk about what they know best. And, so I think that's where the tension comes from.
So what you say you should stop your daughter?
So she realized the hardship. I mean, that's how I was educated. So, like during uni, like honestly, it was so poor. Like, I was so poor. I would eat like AP noodles from Tesco's.
Oh
And it could,
no! It was
kind of,
AP back then.
It was AP
Wow.
back then. But then that really, you need to learn how to be resourceful.
I feel like, which is something that I feel is good, it's a progression of our generation, is we're more aware of the topic of mental health. Like for our parents' generations, they don't really talk about their mental health. Like even, I feel like they would have they have faced a lot of stress and anxiety too, but they felt like it was kind of a taboo, or like especially in Asia as well as like講咩抑鬱啊，你即係 you know like it's like you're not stressed, you're just like procrastinating, that's why now you're stressed, or like why are you even sad, like you're not depressed, you're just like cheer up, you know, like get yourself together, you know, like I feel like now we're kind of more like woke. Like, I don't know, like we're more.
But they don't have a language to talk about.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They don't know it's a problem.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Like it's not a commonly discussed topic.
No,
so
for
like,
sure it's not.
Yeah, so like I shared that with a lot of my other friends my age too. Like some of my friends are facing some sort of like mental health issues as well. Like because like we're more aware of it. We're woke. We're more woke. Hashtag woke. We live in a very competitive society as well, so a lot of people are depressed or anxious. And a lot of times we share the same experience of trying to convey that to our parents, and so like we're actually feeling depressed or like we're struggling mentally, emotionally. But a lot of times, me and some, like not necessarily me, but some of my friends do share a sentiment that their parents would kind of shut them out.
Oh yeah.
And like, yeah, it's like probably nothing. You'll cheer up, or like why like you shouldn't feel depressed, or you shouldn't feel sad, or like you shouldn't feel anxious because you're so fortunate or whatever.
Okay, so that is it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you again, Joelle, for joining our episode today. So comment down below if you have any experiences you want to share with the challenges of feeling the generation gap. And see you guys next week. Bye!